Welcome to the Wanna Be Mindful podcast with your host here, Mr. Sean, training to be a doctor in meditation, and as well as your guy here, Jared. Welcome to the show, folks. It's going to be another great video from your guys here. We do this almost every week. We want to do it every day, but life comes in the way. But here we are with another show, your hosts. Say hello to the folks, Sean.
Hello, guys. Sean and Jared at your service, here to talk about how to be mindful and how to get to the mindful place of beautifulness.
We do this for you guys. It's not for us. It's kind of for us, not gonna lie,
No,
but
no, it's not.
It's mostly for you guys.
But it's not for us at all. At the same time, it's just for you guys. Then again, I love doing this for myself, so it's for us only, not for you guys. So that being said,
That's very confusing. You're trying to confuse the folks. What are you doing?
stay mindful. That's all I'm trying to invoke. But what I'll say, Jared, is that
Talk to me.
I love doing this with you. I love talking to you.
Uh-huh.
And I love just conversating about things that people don't usually conversate throughout their everyday life.
Yeah. And a little known fact, like, we started this podcast because this is basically what we talk about on a daily basis. We like talking about these topics. We talk about ways that we can improve ourselves, and then how we can help one another achieve the things that we want to achieve. And so that's why we started in the first place. We were like, this is the stuff we like talking about. This is stuff that we feel brings value to people. And it's pretty awesome, I think.
We talked every day about this type of stuff. And I feel like me and Jared have that type of character and personality that likes talking about self-improvement, self-development, gets excited about it, hopeful for a good future, hopeful for greatness. And it's just amazing to be on a vibration with somebody else that has the same vibration, and we're on the same page.
Exactly.
So today, Jared,
Beautiful thing.
what are we going to be talking about?
Today's topic is something that holds near and dear to my heart. I know it's something near and dear to your heart, and something that people really need to know how important it is and how much value you can gain from it, and that is meditation.
Ah, yes.
Meditation. It's something that it can really vary person to person. If it's something you've never really done, then it can be looked at as kind of a wishy-washy thing that monks do to just live their life in solitude, or whatever the case may be. But meditation is a real practice that has been used for thousands and thousands of years. The wisest people of our lifetime, of past generations, things that have grown to be incredible intelligence and just things of wisdom, have come from meditation. I don't believe there is like any philosophers out there or any great people of wisdom that did not use meditation in their lives. So meditation is something nowadays that can be looked at from person to person, and it can really vary, but it really does add benefit to your life, benefit to the self-development. If it's one practice that we would advocate for from this podcast, if there's one practice that we want you to do the most, it's meditation. It's meditation. It boils over into everything else in self-development, and it's what brings the most value, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on meditation.
I think you're 110% correct on that. If anything you take away from this podcast, it should be meditation. That is our number one selling factor here. But a lot of people do think it's wishy-washy, or they think it's make-believe stuff like meditation. You're a hippie, or you're just it's a waste of time. What's it gonna do in my daily life? I got bills to pay and I got mouths to feed.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, you're neglecting a huge game changer that could add a great benefit to your life, really. And it's sad to see that people neglect meditation. And I'm glad we're talking about it finally now, because we're going to talk about a couple things: how to do meditation, why to do meditation, the health benefits, and a couple topics that we're going to touch base with. So why don't we start with let's start with some health benefits of meditation. So in your own words, Jared, what does meditation helped you out, like with your health, physically, mentally?
So I would say in my own experience, meditation has brought more peace of mind into my life. It's brought in more awareness, and it's overall, I would say, brought more joy into my life, just because it lets your mind settle down to how it really wants to be. It's not constantly being overworked. It's not constantly thinking of things that are unnecessary.
Right.
Thinking of problems, thinking of distractions, thinking about my future, my past, my anxieties, different things like that. Like it takes that away, because you're living how you should be, and that's living in the present moment, living with peace of mind and mental clarity. And that's what I've taken away from meditation, and it allows you to have more awareness of the current moment. When your mind slows down and it focuses on the current moment and not so much the problems and such, then you can really just be calm, enjoy the present, see all the things around you, and have gratitude as well for those things, and see it for how it really is, not constantly live in your head, but constantly live in the now and enjoy what you have. So that's my experience. And how about yourself?
Meditation has helped me honestly feel something different that I haven't felt before, which is peace of mind, mental clarity, and being in the present. And that feeling brings about other feelings of gratefulness, happiness, and health benefits. I've gotten better sleep because of meditation. My brain is not just constantly, every day our brains are receiving information from our phone screen to computer screens to just whatever's happening in our life.
So that old guy in the park who tells you a bit of wisdom that might be the craziest thing you've ever heard.
Right. There's a lot of information coming at us every day. And more that technology comes out, the more our brains consume information that might be harming us and not honestly.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Keep on talking. Don't let it ruin the flow. Keep on going. What are you doing?
Sorry, I was locked in the matrix right there for a second.
Oh, yeah?
But you brought me back.
You're welcome.
So what I was saying,
Keanu Reeves going back at it.
beautiful man. Beautiful.
Indeed.
You kind of look like him.
Thank you. I've been told that. But acting skills along with him, probably
You're
about
almost-
the same.
You're getting there.
Anyways, continue on what you were talking about.
Our brains taking so much information. I'm talking megabits.
Megabits.
What's going on over there?
How much megabits is it to the brain? Is that like 10 words per second?
I don't really have a measurement like that, but
It's just kind of something you pulled out of your ass.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
the point is, in today's modern day, everyone looks at their phone a long time, and it's kind of cool because
On cue.
your phone tells you kind of like your average hour screen time and in hours, and how long you've been staring at a screen, averaging a week.
Oh yeah.
And so it's a shit ton, and especially nowadays age with attention grabbers like quick TikTok clips and YouTube shorts and just like quick little snippets on Instagram Reels and just Snapchat and all these stuff. Your brain's taking in so much information that if you don't give it a second to calm down, sit down, meditate, even 5 minutes can be a game changer.
Mhm.
You're allowing your brain to recover and to heal and to understand and to like regain its focus again, instead of being in this constant circle of a train ride of information, this information daisy it's going around. So that's why meditation is so beneficial for your health, because it's healthy for your brain. And when your brain starts getting in that healing process, the rest of your body starts to align with it.
Hmm.
So that is why we are promoting meditation as our number one sponsor, honestly.
Hmm. Yeah, it brings more awareness to what your body needs, what really feels right to you when you're at your calmest moments. And that's what we're looking for here with meditation. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And if if you've never meditated as well, just know that there's a lot of practices out there. Like I would say, do your research, go to different methods, learn from different people, because this is something that's incredibly important to your self development process. Honestly, we should have made it episode 1, but we didn't know how good we would be at this whole podcasting business. But either way, we feel like this is the most important thing, and this is why we want you to do different research with different methods. But the whole point of meditation isn't to like gain something out of it. It's not to do a whole lot of things. It's to literally do nothing. That's what meditation is. It's to do nothing. It's to let your mind calm down, come to its real place of being, to what it naturally wants to be, because it doesn't want to be stressed. It doesn't want to do all these things. Like it wants to find clarity and peace of mind. There's other times to work hard and to stretch it and grow it, but you need to take the time to clear it out and to find that mental clarity. And that's what meditation is all about. It's doing nothing, finding that peace of mind, and knowing what you need to do as well. So meditation is a beautiful thing.
And to break it down real quick, we're going to dive into it.
Mhm.
But what is meditation? Meditation is you take a few moments, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. And then how do you get results? You stay consistent and you do it on daily, or you put it in like in your weekly schedule. But if you want results, you stay consistent, just like anything else in life. But meditation, when you begin, if you've never meditated or you're willing to try and get back into it, you want to make sure you're sitting down and that your back is somewhat straight up, somewhat stern, would you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
you
want to
got
keep
you
it
got
upright.
an upright posture.
Yeah.
So you don't. So if you're sitting in a chair, you want that chair to be flat, basically, like feet on the ground, and then your hips to be above your knees, typically. So I mean, you can do that sitting on the ground. It kind of takes a little time to build that, but
And you can sit on a couch too. You can be on a cushion,
yeah,
but you
you
know,
want your spine upright. You want it up and your head up. And you don't really have to do anything with your hands. I mean, you could do the cool pose like our picture has. Like you could do that, but you could just have it rested on your thighs if you'd
rest your
like.
hands on your knees, your thighs, or bring them into your groin. Just hold them there, whatever's comfortable. You want to be in a comfortable but also upright, stern position at the same time. That's why
Yeah.
meditation's cool.
Yes. And
And
you want to also eliminate distractions as well. So you want to take your phone out of the equation. Set a certain timer, but don't think about your phone. Don't think about anything. That's the whole point. So set it to a certain timer and forget about it. It'll go off eventually. So you want to be hopefully in a room that nobody is going to be in, nobody's going to come by, and one that's silent that you can really just, or you can play some music as well if you'd like. If it's like one that's a guided meditation, then that could be of help. But you want to have a place with no distractions where you don't have the sense of feeling that somebody's going to walk in or something, or somebody's looking at you. That can help. But um
and there's two types of breathing you can do. Well, and then after those two types, you can do any type of breathing, honestly. But there's tranquil breathing and there's box breathing. Tranquil breathing, which I've learned recently, is when you inhale for 4 seconds and then you exhale for 6 seconds. So it's definitely slower on the exhale, and it's through the nose both times. So it's just breathing through the nose at both times. When I used to meditate, Jared, I used to breathe in through the nose and I would release out through the mouth. You know what I mean?
Pretty
I
typical.
because a long time ago, my elementary school gym teacher told us to breathe in through the nose and out the mouth to help oxygen get to our muscles better, all that stuff. So I just did
Mhm.
it with meditation. But as I've learned from other, because I've done research, breathing through the nose and out the nose is perfectly fine too. So that's tranquil breathing. And box breathing is also a type of breathing to get um, basically to build your focus. Box breathing is 4 in, hold for 4,
Mhm.
4 out, hold for 4. So basically, when you blow out all your air, you're just like holding for 4 seconds with no air in your lungs.
Mhm.
Some that could be challenging, but
It
do the
can energize you. That's kind of the point,
right,
and increases concentration.
right.
It's something that Navy SEALs do as well as the box breathing. It's something that they can that's been known to increase their concentration and increase their kind of mindset and on things. So
So
yeah.
the meditation process. Now you're going to be asking yourself, how do I know I'm doing this right? And I'm going to tell you right now, and then you can jump in after, Jared. The point of meditation. This is the bicep curl of meditation. You want your brain to do a bicep curl just like you do bicep curls in the gym with your body? Then
Mhm.
this is the bicep curl repetition.
Which that's the only exercise you need, by the way, is bicep curls. No other exercise is needed. Continue.
Very well. When you're meditating, okay, obviously you can't just not think about anything. Our brains are racing with over thousands and thousands of thoughts per second. A lot of thoughts go through our brain per minute.
It's the most advanced machine
It
in the
is.
world. It's working.
So you can't just clear your mind at your will, right? There's going to be thoughts that come in.
Hmm.
So your goal during a meditation session is to close your eyes and focus on the air going into your lungs that you're breathing in and focus on that air coming out. Picture it going through your body. You want to just focus your attention on that and picture it. When your mind drifts though, cuz it will drift. It will drift sometimes. Maybe you're doing it for a minute and then boom, you start thinking about something else throughout your day. When you notice that and you catch it and you're like, "Oh, damn, I just drifted." Bring yourself back to focusing on your breath. Boom. That's a bicep curl for your brain right there. That's practice. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to notice when you drift because the more and more you do that, the less you will start drifting, the more you'll get out of it. The more results you'll get out of um, doing the practice. And then if you're consistent, you're going to be quite a mindful person. And
Hmm.
who knows what opportunities that could bring to your life.
Hmm. Yeah. So that's a good point. You want to, it's going to happen. Those thoughts are going to come up. And especially if you're new to it and you have a lot going on in your life, then you're going to have a lot of thoughts that come up. It's not going to be straight. Yeah. You're thinking and you're thinking of clarity and just of great things. Like most of the time, as soon as you start out, especially as well, you're gonna have a lot of thoughts that come up. It's gonna be this and that, this and that. It could be really difficult for you, but it's all about, like you said, training, making it a consistent pattern to come back to that breathing or come back to a certain feeling of awareness. And a couple other methods that we have as well, that I've done is focusing on your body. So you when you start to meditate, you can just focus on being aware of your body and feeling yourself. So basically, you just put attention to a certain body part. So you put attention to your feet, you feel all your toes, you feel every single little toe, and then you feel your feet. And then you go up from there, you feel your shins, your calves, and your knees and your legs. You feel all of that. You just bring your brain attention to those certain body parts and to your every little finger. You feel it out and you just spend a little bit of time doing that. And then you go to the rest of your body too, your head, your face, your ears. You just think about it all in your brain. So that's one way to just bring focus to something else other than, problems and distractions. It's bringing awareness to your body and just what you are, who you are. And then also another method that I've done in the past as well is kind of along the same lines, to just bring awareness to your surroundings and yourself, is to just sit there, think about the place that you're in, have your eyes closed, and then think about the room that you're in, and think about water filling the room up and slowly rising up above you. And so basically you just think about every little corner of the room. So you go through every little corner of the room. You think about your feet and how the water is rising above. You just slowly think about the water moving, and it brings awareness to your surroundings, and it can bring a lot of attention and awareness to your mind when you're doing that. So you just think about it all the way up from your legs to your midsection to the middle of the wall to the ground, and just see it slowly rising, and think about all the different corners, the different sections of the room that it's rising above. So those are a couple methods, and there's a lot more. That's why we recommend doing research as well. Um, but we want to try and provide you guys with applicable ways to do this meditation process, because we said it's important.
Jared, there's one common denominator from this podcast.
What's that?
There's a pattern here, and that is consistency. With everything we talk about on this self-improvement podcast, consistency seems to be the common denominator in all the things we discuss. Because
It's facts.
if you're consistent with meditation, you're going to see results that are great for you. That's what self-improvement's about. It's about getting better at things. And same with gratitude, consistent. Same with other topics we talked about, habits, consistent. Like everything falls under consistency. And if you can just master consistency, if you master that.
So you're saying you want the next episode to be about consistency?
I think it needs its own episode, honestly.
It needs its own episode. I agree, to be honest, because there's a lot of good motivational quotes and motivational speeches on consistency.
But how do you be consistent? How do you stay consistent?
How do you
Jared?
stay consistent?
What is
You
it?
build a habit. You build a habit that's so integrated into your mind that you then are consistent with it, that it
Yeah.
hurts you to break that habit. And
That makes sense.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of just, we don't want to go on too much of a tangent about consistency, and we don't want to make this, a motivational speech podcast. Please don't do that to our viewers. My mom is listening. How do you think my mom's going to respond to that?
Sorry, guys. Jared's mother, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I don't know if she listens, to be honest, but if you are, Mom,
We'd like to think so.
yeah, I love you. Anyways,
Better than what you said last time about her.
I only speak positively about my mom.
It was a joke last time, but it's still.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke, but that's okay, Shawnee boy, because we're talking about meditation. And so the next part about meditation that I want to bring across is the acceleration that it brings to your self-development process. So the whole point of this is to self-improve, to bring more mindfulness into your life. And this stems all around meditation. This can all stem around meditation, because you can spend an entire day meditating. You can spend an entire week meditating, and you can do different retreats and such. But this can accelerate your self-development process because it slows things down for you. It adds that awareness that we talk about. So when you bring across a new topic, so like our last episode was distractions. So you bring across something in your life, say, you're addicted to social media, okay? What we talked about. So if you can slow down, bring awareness, then as soon as you get home from work and then you've meditated for the day already, but your mind slowed down, and it brings that awareness to, like, what are you doing? You're going on your phone for no reason. This doesn't benefit you at all. And so it can add that awareness and then going on to something else. It can go on to your latest practice. Say you're trying to um, improve a skill, a certain skill of playing the guitar, the guitar. So 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 say you're trying to learn that, then your mind is slowed down. It's able to realize what you're doing is wrong, and then to go on to doing what you feel um, will benefit you and doing your purpose.
I'll jump in and I'll
Yeah.
say that meditation basically has endless amount of benefits. We can't even list them
Oh
all.
yeah, yeah.
And when you're talking about trying to learn a new skill, the more meditation you consistently do on a daily basis, the more your brain is like, it's like molding your brain into a form that allows you to be better at building a skill or building whatever you're trying to work on. You just have a better brain for the job, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically getting the gears turning to taking off those spider webs, taking off the different scratches and rust out of those gears, and churning the brain to how it should be. And that's with clarity, that's with efficiency and speed.
Because there's parts of your brain that are calcified, basically,
Mm-hmm.
because you're not using them. You're not using them to the full potential. You're not opening them up. You're not practicing them. One of the major parts that is calcified is your third eye, the pineal gland. A lot of those, a lot of information you take in all day, and like unawareness that you ask yourself a question like, "Am I aware right now?" Just that simple thing. A lot of people don't do. Their brain, the left side of the brain, the creative side, is just getting more calcified because you're not being creative. You're consuming. You're being a consumer and just
Mm-hmm.
taking in information, soaking it in, and you're just like a sponge. You're just soaking in all this information. And the worst part about it, it's not even good information at times. It's just pointless. It's mindless. It's entertainment. And your brain, meditation is the process of decalcifying your brain and
Mm-hmm.
just shining it up. Like you said, I like that analogy. The spider webs and the rust and the gears.
Yeah.
It's getting that brain into tip top shape.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
basically sending your brain to the gym.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're not stretching your brain, like think about your muscles, the same thing as your brain. If you're not growing and stretching those muscles, then they're staying the same. And if they stay the same for too long, then they'll start to decline and grow weaker and, you know, smaller, basically. So that's the same thing with your brain. If you're not stretching your brain and keeping it calm, because your muscles do need recovery as well. So if you're not giving your brain recovery and you're not stretching it and growing it, then it's going to stay stagnant or go in the decline. And that's, if you're declining your brain, you're not going to really realize it at first, but it's going to be painful, and you're going to do more things that are along the lines of distractions and addictions and being that lower self that we've talked about. It's doing all the stuff that you don't inherently want to do, but it's just gotten to a point where you know it just happens. And because like for all of us, we don't want to be unhappy, and we don't want to be out of shape and do all the unhealthy things that just causes more problems. Inherently, we want to be the best versions of ourselves, have a healthy have a healthy mind, a healthy body, but there's reasons why we don't do it. And it comes back onto that mental clarity. If we have mental clarity, then we can see all the things that we do wrong.
That's right.
We can see all the things that we need to do right. And it can really bring clarity to us and have that sense of purpose. So
I mean, we want to naturally we want to be our best selves. We want to do healthy things and be healthy, look this way. But then on the other side of it, naturally, we don't want to do the difficult things that we need to do to get there. It's like a weird this human experience, man. Let me tell you, it's a weird like in the middle ground that you're like breaking through. Tug of war, like I like to say, just constantly you're fighting yourself. You're at war with yourself, basically.
yeah, exactly. It's a battle between you
And your
and you.
identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your ego, what you've built yourself up to be.
since you were a baby, what your identity has been, you're basically fighting that.
Yeah.
Because apparently, I don't know what parents have raised like a perfect child that they're out there.
Mhm.
I'm sure they're out there, but you don't see it that rarely.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I mean, who think about Gandhi's parents? Who raised him? What did they instill into him?
Gandhi's parents, yeah, you don't
Think
hear about them.
exactly. But he's a product of them.
Yeah.
So
They must have been some sweet people or
imagine
some terrible people to make him
that's true.
motivated to
'Cause
be
yeah.
Gandhi.
There's a lot of things that could motivate a person to do to change themselves into or just achieve greatness like that.
Yeah.
But that's just I'm gonna assume that his parents taught him some good values and
100%.
he got his identity learning the world from his parents showing him stuff, and then he learned a little bit and
Yeah. So, yeah, on the topic of raising children, do you think you could have raised yourself? Like right now in your current situation, if you had a baby that popped out that was exactly you in every way, you think you could raise yourself? Or do you think you'd be too much of a little asshole?
I think I could do it.
You think you could do it?
Yeah, I could do it.
But then he would grow to be different than the way you
That's
are
right.
now.
You'd be better.
You think so?
You'd be Homelander. I'm
Homelander.
Soldier Boy.
We know how that works out, though.
Yeah, I forgot. Season 4, we got to watch.
Oh, season 4. When does it come out?
2024, January,
January? Sweet.
February, maybe. It's either one of those. I know it's one of those.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But
March.
so meditation. If there's any questions that y'all want to bring across, if you make it to the end of these episodes, we appreciate you so much. You don't even understand.
You are the best if
You're
you're
the
still
best.
listening.
And we're going to listen, 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line to these episodes. Millions of people are going to listen to these episodes. And,
Billions.
we'll just be appreciative of who's ever listening right now.
And if you are listening on Spotify, please go ahead and rate the show 5 stars.
Yeah.
We would really appreciate that. It makes me and Jared just feel a little extra good. And the value is getting out there.
Yeah. So we encourage you to meditate. If you're listening to this right now, whether it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 100 hours, meditate. Meditate. Try and add it to a daily practice. If there's any other practice to do, it's not those. It's this one. It's meditation. That is the one habit that we recommend most in your life. And if you speak around to wise people out there and to different people out there, they will recommend meditation if they're really about it. And so that's really what we want you guys to start doing. If you can take something away from this episode and you've learned, then meditate. Listen to the methods that we've talked about. Listen to what we're saying. But yes, that's what we want to do the most, is encourage meditation. We want more people to meditate in the world, and we want you to meditate.
Go ahead, research it. Check us out. Fact check us if you need to. But meditate.
We'll make a song. We can come out with a song if that's what you guys want. Whatever to get you to start meditating. All right, we'll throw 1,000 stones on Sean's back and have him drag him across the United States of America.
Hey,
For you guys to start meditating. He can do it.
okay, I might be able to. I can take that.
He can do it. If you guys start meditating, Sean will drag stones.
What? All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Wanna Be Mindful with Sean and Jared, your co-host and your host and your co-host. Let me tell you something, folks. Stay mindful out there, and please go ahead and do yourself a favor. Sit down and meditate. Have a good one. Stay extra mindful.
Peace be done.